Hey, Damon, what's up, dude?
Well, Kurt, I'm reeling from a challenging baseball weekend.
You know what? But you've got a glow to you today. Like, you look more handsome than normal. I don't know what it is. Maybe new haircut, maybe the background lighting, the new
No,
shirt. I don't know what it is,
no,
dude, but the goatee, just
you know, I think what it is, Kurt, is you and I talked about this days ago, many days ago, and it came to fruition that I kind of wanted to see a 7-game series for this
yeah.
playoff and going into extra innings, and and us winning.
You got what you wish for.
If that happens, I guess I'm going to have to quit thinking that stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey, you just need one. You just need to be one run better than them tonight. That's
Yep,
it.
that's all we have to do. It's a great day, great week, Kurt. We're going to start off strong and talk about guiding your customers down the success path. That's going to be fun.
Yeah. So let's dive in. So guys, welcome. Happy Monday. We're here to Stop Being the Best Kept Secret. And so, we're going to dive into, we have this little new tool that we'd love to share with you. And we're going to be fast and furious today. So it's called the digital game plan. And so the digital game plan is for, say, like folks, maybe entrepreneurs, solopreneurs that are marketing is a little bit new. As a matter of fact, Damon, we did a webinar last week. I got a really nice note on LinkedIn from a woman. She's like, hey, I'm launching my new business. This is like, I'm super excited about it, but I've had zero marketing. She really enjoyed the concept and like going through that foundation of the digital game plan. And so more importantly for this, the sales process that's new for people, you hear the buyer journey. You always hear the buyer journey. Well, so many people we've learned from is, how do you make your customer successful? How do you make your customer successful? So as opposed to, and I don't want to discount the buyer journey, but like, how do we take them down a Soulmate, what we call the Soulmate success path? Hey, and by the way, our dear friend is here today.
Hey, Diane. Awesome.
Happy Monday, Diane. So speaking of customer success, I don't know anybody who exudes the dedication to customer success the way that Diane Byer does. Diane does amazing, incredible work. Connect with Diane on LinkedIn. You will thank us later for that one. So, Damon, let's take a little road trip. I'm going to show you now. As I'm pulling this up, your thoughts of though it's a buyer's journey, when we really kind of flip the script and we call it that success path, what goes through your mind?
It really, until we started looking at it this way a while back, right? We started looking at it this way. I hadn't thought about the buyer journey in these different stages, right? When you're starting to look for a solution to a problem you have, and then you go into, how do I find it? How do I evaluate? How do I make that decision? And what do I really need post-purchase? I really hadn't thought about it like that. But when you start looking at it this way, boy, it sure clarifies how you need to help people, your Soulmate customers, best ICP, whatever you want to call it, find you, decide if you're a good solution, and then move beyond that to the sale.
I totally agree. And 2 weeks ago today, we had our dear friend David Manti on the program from manufacturing.net and Industrial Equipment News. And they had put out a huge research on hundreds of manufacturers. We've had Wendy Covey on the show multiple times. She interviews over 1,000 engineers, kind of going through that buyer journey, that buying process. Again, we're calling it that Soulmate success path, if you will. And so what's so important is getting that information out there and thinking of the different stages. And this hit me the other day. My wife and I are looking to make this, this purchase thing. And like, I'm now like really kind of diagnosing like our buying process, like, how are we finding somebody? And I'm online, right? I'm dissecting into these folks' websites. I'm looking at their social media. I'm looking at reviews. And so like, I'm trying to designate, and where I'm at, I'm in the awareness stage. I'm in that top portion. Hey, I have a challenge. I have a problem. I need a solution. Let's get the party started. So anyway, your thoughts as far as like diving into this, we're going to go through this example. Now, what I did, we speak to, sing to, we don't sing, Damon. Nobody wants to hear us singing, right?
No,
not whatsoever. So I pulled up. This is an example of Inc. Magazine. So this was a
Mm-hmm.
digital game plan on Inc. Magazine. I just thought, hey, many, if not most, entrepreneurs are familiar with Inc. Magazine. I've been an Inc. Magazine junkie for over 30 years. Great periodical for entrepreneurs. And so diving into, I'm pulling up their doubles. So let's just take a look at a couple examples here of the trigger, right? So for manufacturers, it's like, okay, I need a new supplier. My previous supplier went out of business. There's supply chains taking too long. Different challenges that pull that trigger. Your thoughts here is we're starting off with the awareness stage.
Well, I really like the way this lays it out, though. The triggers, where do they go first, down the page, to really help us, I guess, get familiar with this process. So we really are putting ourselves in that buyer's place and walking a mile in their shoes.
Right. Exactly. And so again, we start here like, hey, what's the first trigger? What is that ideal customer? What is their search behavior? Right?
Yeah.
Are they, we have young adult kids, if you will. Are they on TikTok? Are they going to Google? Here we've got, are they going to ChatGPT? Are they going to LinkedIn? In peer groups? Where are they starting that search? Am I going to reach out to my buddy Damon? Hey, Damon, where do you and Lene get such and such? Right? Or am I going to reviews? Am I going to Yelp? So we need to dive in and get a clear, concise understanding. Now, you and I had a little bit of an epiphany. We work with primarily, a lot of Gen Xers, right?
Yep.
A lot of different, we'll say a more seasoned generation, right? So it's really it's really imperative for us to understand where that ideal buyer is hanging out, where they're shopping.
Yeah.
Anything that you want to add to that?
No, I think understanding that ideal customer and their journey is so critical, because you can tailor the information they need at each stage, right? To what they really need. Then when someone finds you at that awareness stage, at that decision stage, whatever it is, you really understand how to give them the right information they need.
Exactly right. And so in what was ironic, you and I, we were talking, webinars are a great way for us to connect with our ideal customers.
Yep.
That's where they're hanging out. They want to be educated. They're going to different organizations that we work closely with. And so that's a great place. So again, for our friends, our entrepreneurs, solo entrepreneurs out there that are maybe, or, just starting your marketing journey, you get kind of caught in that little tactic sprint. Our dear friend, Michelle Jones, calls it that tactic sprint. Hey, Damon, let's do email. Let's do cold outreach. Let's do pay-per-click. Let's do Facebook ads. We just start kind of throwing things on the wall as opposed to getting strategic. Your thoughts?
That is an awesome point, because I was thinking about this more over the weekend and last week. And as we really, we're building out this tool, we're moving from the Google Sheets into this SaaS application and really building it out. The focus that you get is what is really powerful in this from a marketing standpoint, because if we're sitting back today and we don't know what to do, our marketing can really be affected by whatever the latest thing that honestly hit us in the face. Right. And if you go, yeah. And I'm talking about, you might got hit by an awesome website person. You might got hit by an awesome Google PPC person, an awesome social media person. You just name it, right? Because they and everybody, right? We could always have better social. We could always have better website. We could always have better. But really, when you understand what your customer really needs, where they are, and what you really need to get them at that point, it just clarifies. The sun comes out and the clouds disperse, man.
Right. I couldn't agree more. And I'm such a guilty culprit of like, hey, Damon, let's do that. Hey, I read this article. Hey, I heard this. I watched this listen to this podcast. We need to do this, as opposed to setting back and say, like, our dear friend Diane, like, hey, what challenge does Diane have today?
Yeah.
How can we help Diane, crush it with the challenge that she's facing? What are her motivations? What are her goals? And, when we, I don't mean to sound so selfless, but when we step out of our own selves, get out of our own way, and we focus on our customer, it's just so much more powerful. Let's see what Diane has to say. Damon, what do you got here? What's she saying?
We are in 2025 conducting business in a digital marketplace now. It's not enough to have a digital presence. you need a digital game plan. And the digital game plan provides a deep level knowledge and understanding of how to help your Soulmate customers. Excellent. That's what she said. So thank you, Diane.
Well, and the thing is, she, as modest and humble as Diane is, she is the master of this. I can't tell you how much I've learned, and whether she realizes it or not, I can't tell you how much of like her fingerprints are all over this digital game plan right here from her expertise. So Diane, send you lots of love. Thank you for all that you do, for your support. Love it. Damon, we're going to start winding down here. We're coming into time. The last thing that we have, so again, we have the trigger, we have the search behavior, right? How does somebody find that challenge? The emotional state, right?
That's like really important. That's really important, because if you can talk to people on the same level about their frustrations or their motivations at that point, is huge.
Right. And even Wendy, like when you think about, engineers and just, you're an engineer at heart by trade, correct? And in engineers, it might be like, hey, we're not emotional. We make logical, rational decisions, a little bit more stoic. We're more serious. We mean business. Man, you could take the most stoic engineer. It's still an emotional decision. You know what I mean? When it comes down to a buying decision, it's still an emotional decision. And then the last step here, we have like, in this case, like, hey, what should you be providing your ideal customer, that Soulmate, to get them on that path to success? And so, for example, here, we always love that line. How do you outteach the competition? But, right here, Damon, ROI calculators, man, we love those configurators, right? Exclusive interviews, interviews with peers, with experts, exactly, what we're doing here with our live stream show, bringing on amazing, incredible people, having guides, comparing, hey, this is how we used to do it, this is how we now do it, or hey, product A compared to product B. How do you stand against your competition? So again, like this, I tell you, Damon, if there was any takeaways today, this right here is just,
it's huge.
Gold, right? Absolutely gold.
Yeah. That is huge.
Okay. All right, Damon, we are going to wind down. Hey, Abdul's got a note.
Yeah, Abdul, he said, customer needs should be taken care of. Nothing under or over in terms of requirements, quality, budget, and timeline. That is a great comment, Abdul. Thank you.
Yep. Thank you, Abdul. Appreciate it. And hey, Diane says, you are so kind. Right back at you, my friend. Tons of gratitude to our friend Diane.
Yeah.
So, okay, let's wind down. Damon, closing thoughts, words of wisdom that you want to share when we're focusing on the digital game plan, most importantly, that ideal customer, that Soulmate success path. What are your thoughts?
Know your buyer journey really well on your ideal customers and what you need to provide, because it gives you the whole template for what you need to be doing, what you need to be talking about in your blogs, in your social, in on your website, whatever it is. It just simplifies that whole thing for you. So understand it well, and that it's going to pay off.
Yep. And so two takeaways. Number one, KYS, know your Soulmate customer. Know your Soulmate. Know your Soulmate. Number two, HYS, help your Soulmate. You do those two things, my friend, you will be amazing. So guys, thank you for your time today. We appreciate you more than you can possibly imagine. And Damon, how about this? And just go out and be someone's inspiration, right?
Yes.
And just keep crushing it. And you two are going to make the world a better place. Damon and I are back here on Friday. Damon, we have an email guru on the show this Friday.
Nice.
I cannot wait, because I know like you and I have been going all in on our email newsletter. And so I'm super excited to learn more from our expert coming up on Friday. So guys, join us back on Friday. Have an amazing, incredible week, and we will catch you soon.
Have a great week, everyone.